Hmm. Hi guys, welcome to another passion project video. I really do not have time to make this video because I have like a lot to do. But today's the deadline I gave myself to do this video because if I don't do it now, I have to start another passion project like Saturday. That one's its own work related passion project. It's complicated, sha. But the passion project I have to start is this tax me. I already have it. I always create an idea like ahead of time before the next week. The technologies I'll be using and everything. Like now, this is a unique. Yeah, I'm building a mobile app nest, and I'll try and complete it over the weekend. Like I would actually try and do it over the weekend, just blaze it over the weekend, even though it might not be possible. But at least to give me more time to work my full time job during the weekday. Let it stop clashing because passion project doesn't pay. So today what we'll be building, as I said before, and as I've been saying, CodeDen this year would be what we'll be building. Basically, the inspiration for CodeDen, I already have it opened up here, is this Dev Dojo. One day I was just scrolling through the internet, then I saw this and I loved it. It had all this like load, you could drag and drop. I could literally build a website with this. Then I could just save it. And me, knowing how lazy I am, right? Like lazy dev. I used to go to CodePen to find stuff, to find animations, loading screens, whatnot. Because why you create everything from scratch when somebody else has already done it for you? I love that dry principle. Don't repeat yourself or don't repeat other people, basically. Shasha, the idea and this was what gave birth to CodeDen. CodeDen is basically Dev Dojo plus CodePen. It's divided into multiple sections, and well, it's only this section I've built so far, and this was taxing. Technologies used were vite. Let's just go to my package here, Jason. Package. So basically, I used vite ESLint for the interpreter. This is a TypeScript project. Everything here is TypeScript. Unlike the last project, we had to use JS. View router, view UUID, GSAP for the animations, some of the animations, Firebase for the backend. By the way, basically the passion projects I've been building are all MVPs for products. So best backend platform so far to build MVPs is Firebase, and I've been using it for like since I started writing code. So all my software are written in Firebase. You can skip to like 4 minutes because I think after we'll go into the code. This is basically the introduction of the idea behind the project. So using Vite was actually quite annoying and taxing because this Vite showed me Pepe. but in the end, it's worked out. And please, this project is aimed at everybody. It needs documentation, it needs graphic designers like you and UX designers. They can actually contribute to this because I realized they could not contribute to my last project. And basically, the idea for this passion project series was to allow people to be able to contribute, and you and UX designer can actually contribute to this, given that all these are all images. They can come add images, and other design developers can implement the image and literally create a template builder. Vite is fast, really, really fast. And that was one thing I loved about it. So let's go through the project. I'm logged in. Right. Let me log out. I'm logged out. Basically, this is what you see when you open the application. I know it's bland. And it was like I wanted to add like background with floating icons and stuff like that, but no time. 1 week, so beautiful MVP with a full-time job. It's very little time that I had. So that's it. Get started does not do absolutely nothing. Forget about it. Stages. Components will take you to the component page. Basically, it's like various components, although it's I've not coming soon, I've not worked on it yet. Basically similar to stage, just that now people can come add their components, other people developers can come. CodePen, the way CodePen has a lot of now I'm searching for a button. I will search for buttons and I will see like several types of buttons, repeated buttons, repeated designs. Well, this idea was to prevent that repetition. Basically, unique buttons yeah, you find components like buttons, card, navbar, button bar, just single components. The idea I used behind this was the atomic design, where we have atoms, molecules, and blocks and skeletons, like that, like that. So this is the application. You have this that switches the sites, although it does not work. Someone should make a PR that, because media query uses the screen width, right? And this just changes the size of this div. So it does not, the media query is not triggering because the screen width is not affected. If there's a way to fix that, someone to make a PR, I could not think. I could have thought of a solution, but as I said, no time. So basically, it's a element builder. So if you are viewing this on the web, on the link I'll be posting, it might be slow because the components would first have to be fetched from the internet. And since I'm splitting the components so that the application is fast. For each time you over on it, the components will have to be fetched. I'm thinking of implementing catch. Someone else can implement catch. Catch would actually make it more way better. So basically, we have let's build a simple web page here. I would explain the how it works. So then a web page will need like hero image, so, and then footer. I like this footer 3. So with that, we have built a simple web page. You guys will not believe what I had to do. The bugs I faced, the sleepless nights. I slept like 5 to 6 throughout this week every day. Very bad for my health. Then you can go to preview and you can preview the page. Preview, you can actually use media query here. I just wanted to ensure it was recording because stuff happens. So you can come here. And you can use media queries. Developers have loved to contribute to these projects. Not all the components are like this now. This should have like a nav icon and whatnot. Not all the components are fully responsive. They are responsive to an extent, but things like the nav bar and certain other parts can be more responsive. They can be better. So if you could like make a PR, go through the sites, clone the sites, clone the repo, go through each component, find out if they are all responsive and if they are working properly. Any UI that's not working properly, you can make a PR and fix it. That would help everybody. And basically, the way it is, once you save a component, if this component is updated currently, if this component is updated, as long as you have saved it, you are going to see the updates. Like now, I can save this component and share it. Oh, you need to sign in first. And I'm scared if I go back to CodeDen and I come back here, once I lose my progress. No, I always think about that. So things like saving state and whatnot. Yep. You're not going to lose your progress. It saves to local storage. The way I implemented that was very, very. But we'll go through the code base and you see the rubbish code I wrote. So you're trying to log me in. Same mode. My network is very bad. This sucks. This sucks. I should not have logged out. All right. Most of you might be wondering why I don't use this. I don't use email and password, or why I'm always using Google Auth. Well, basically, you can't really, it has this hack proof that you can't really hack it, right? It's going to be difficult for you to try and hack. Then if I use email and password, that would become very problematic. So I just stuck with my this thing. So now I can go back to this page I created. I can save the page, saving your blocks. You see, it's very similar to Timeline X. If you watch the video on Timeline, yes, it's very similar. I've already created a component before. Even the cards, the colors are very, very similar. I did not really have time. I just came here and copied a lot of code. Yes, hands in the air. Who never fucked up hands in the air? Shasha. I copied a lot of code I would still copy a lot of codes in later video because these are MVPs. They are not meant to be perfect. They are just meant to be functional, meant to work. So that's the idea. MVP is literally prototype and see how users react to it. So copy codes the way time. I just made one, so I think this is the one I made. If you click on it, it should take you to preview. Yep. Take you here. Now I can come here and copy. Normally, Macs do not allow it to copy, so usually it's literally just paste it to your clipboard, and I can share this with my friends and tell them, see the site that I've built. That's what we have now. Later on, when I have more free time, when you save it clears local storage, so you can't really come back to like the block and whatnot. But later, when I have more free time, right, I'll look at building components page out. This page, building it out. I'll look at pages, or now you can drag and drop, and not just dragging and drop, you can edit the component and save it. Then I also look at ways to link it to a database. So you cannot just create pages, but I did a video on linking your HTML forms to Google spreadsheets, but you can also create a whole database from your Google spreadsheets. I would look at ways to like link your Google spreadsheets to the websites you created. So you could create a website and link it. So yeah, those type of stuff. But I do not really have time. Passion projects. You have to remember that I'm just doing them because I'm trying to challenge myself. Challenge accepted. So let's go back. Let's go to code. 11 minutes. I did not want this video to be long. So basically in the code, we have the main website's code. We have Firebase. We have layouts. This is vite, so it does not really provide layouts like we have middlewares, which is MC. It does not really provide layouts like Nox. Basically, what I did with the layouts was I just created a wrap around it. If you check default layout, basically just my page loading, alerts, and slots. And basically, I just threw the other components. I just put other components within this layout of some default layouts, basically, so that I can have page loading and alerts in all the pages. You basically see this default layout everywhere. Then basic, tailwind, my routing, tailwind, index, page blocks. Basically, all these pages are actually very self-explanatory. Let's go to like the actual code. They are under components. Okay. Under stages, we have two parts. We have this part and we have the main view. I use the view extension called view draggable that allowed me to be able to drag elements. So basically, as you can see draggable here. That allows me to be able to drag elements to the main, to this array. When I drag an element, I'm basically just copying the components from view and pasting it here. Then it's looping through it and using the view component. What I call it? What's this again? It's using the view inbuilt components. That's component to render each and every one of these components. I have to use certain styles like shallow ref and some other stuff. Although there's a lot of warnings because you can't really, components are large entities basically. They'll slow down when you are copying them. So there are a lot of unpleasantries that I have to do. And then the side menu basically is reading from read blocks. It's read blocks function here. This is read blocks, and this is probably one of the longest file in this code base. And let's just go through this file. It uses file system. Basically, it reads other folders in this directory. I use the import meta group to import everything under blocks. This is blocks here, and basically contains all the blog, console, all these components and their child. Let's check under blog now. We have the index. If you check the index of blog, it's basically reading it's reading everything under blogs or blog. Then when it reads inside, it will also find the image and to find the components. This is the component. So here when you come here, you are looking at the image. But when you drag this here, it becomes a component. So when you come here, you're looking at this image here. But when you drag, this is what you're actually dragging, this code. And this is just, if I had 5 4, if divide 20 here, this would read all the 20 components that were here. So that's basically that block, and there was a limitation with this get blocks, which take me back to file system. Because I'm using this thing, it's not redirecting me at directives. View is just TypeScript, and vite showed me paper. So you know what read blocks does? It reads this blocks directory and creates an array. Creates this array. You can delete the delete icon. And this array is now looped through and gotten and gives you this. Then we have get block navigation. If you look at this is where bad code process came in. There's get block navigation. If you had another folder, you would have to create a new function called get block, whatever the name of this. Get themes, get pricing, get block headers. The reason for this, why didn't I just write one function and just pass in a parameter like arrows? Well, I thought about that. Right, I did. But I need to read all the folders within it, right? And this thing, vite, this import method.globe does not, there are limitations to the imports. So what it can do, so like nested, you can have nested paths. Like now if you go to, because right now I'm using, let's go to routes. Like now, anytime you had a new page to views, this would automatically run and generate basically your routes, or your routes here. It will generate it, and I can just add a new page. It's basically what Nox does underneath the hood. That's what this also does. And I don't want to be adding pages and tracking. So, but you see here, the same reason for what happened there, that we have so many functions like this, is the same reason in this place. We have so many v. I know I've said this is bad practice. I knew it was bad practice, but you can't really do more than what the technology allows you to do. So hence we have this for nested routes. At one point, I was very tempted to switch back to Vue CLI. I was so close, but I was like, we have to use vite. Why did I use vite? I believe other developers would download this and don't want to run it. And compared to speed, the setup, the downloads, fetching from npm, vite is freaking fast. And I felt it was going to help other developers' time when they can just easily download the project and run it without. Because if this project gets bigger, we still need that speed, because there'll be more components, there'll be more things. And vite was just the best option. No matter how big it is, vite will still be able to provide optimal speed. I've worked on code bases that are freaking large and using Vue CLI. And I would just run it and I would just be like waiting for it to download. Literally. So all these I've explained in blocks, they get the nested folders, like all these functions here are the ones that are rendered, like they get the sidebar call to action. There are 2 folders under call to actions, and this get block call to action function is what populates this call to action. So when you drag paste, when you save it, you are just saving basically the names of the arrangements and the names. That's basically it. This project is not really complicated, or it was not that complicated. Just I was using I was using new technology, new to me. It was challenging. I've never built like a drag and drop build. Never built a lot of things, and well, I was getting bored with normal work, because basically it was just div. I've been saying this a lot. Fintech, edutech, health tech, you would just be dragging divs and consuming API. That's what you'd be doing. And I don't want to be dragging divs and consuming API, because it got very, So I started making passion projects and YouTube and trying experimenting on other things. It's almost 20 minutes. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Technical writers who don't want to contribute, All these folders will need to have readme and people that contribute to them, like their names would have to be there also. So technical writers can contribute that way. Designers, UI and UX designers could contribute by creating. Basically, you can create a web page or you can create a component and create a web page, break it down into components and submit the images. Yeah, technical writers will have to write something about how to submit images because I'm very bad at writing. I'll probably beg Zara or Chema or one of the twins. And developers, junior dev, senior dev, whichever developer you are, you can contribute to this by building out designs. If you're looking for design inspiration, just come here and steal it. It's not steal. But why I didn't like this is that some of them were locked. So you can come here, inspect this page. So if you're looking for design inspiration, when you inspect the page, basically, I can come here, inspect. It will take me to the image. All I have to do is click on the image and I get this. All you have to do is save this, add it to the code base and build it out. Right? Like you build out this layout. And you can just be coming here and be changing it. It is not intellectual theft. Is it not? Shout out to Dev Dojo. I thought it was, yeah. But shout out to Dev Dojo. They are doing like a wonderful job. Please don't gonna tell me to take it down. I'm just trying my best here. But Shasha, their code base is locked. They are using PHP and Livewire. If you inspect the elements, you'd see it. But one thing I didn't like was when I dragged and drop or when I tried to delete something, it would load. It was not instant, especially in Nigeria, the network is bad. Which CodeDen does not really give you, it deletes immediately, given that they're just functional. You are not loading any of them from your loading, but once we implement caching, it become like freaking fast. So that's that. And I've told you ways you can contribute. That's all for this project. Looking for your pull requests. Looking forward to your pull requests. Go and make a pull request. Make a pull request. And yes, I always forget to say this. Like and subscribe and share this YouTube video. Share it to your friends. Share it to other developers, Share it. I'll be making more videos like this. I always forget to shout, like and subscribe. Let this channel grow. Let it grow. Let it grow. Yeah, the new project is Tax Me. Tax Me is the concept of assigning tax, the whole project idea for Tax Me. Last time I also told you like what CodeDen was going to be about. What Tax Me is about is, certain location, I want to run a tax something lazy. I was fixed. I have like 10 naira that I can spare. I also want to go and buy something downstairs. So I come to Tax Me. I ask them, basically my project will not focus on profits, but you can just find people around you that are willing to run tax for you, then decide payment method. Do you want to pay on the app or do you want to pay physically? Then you guys decide, you communicate and you pay them and whatnot. Basically you pay through the app share for certain amount. As I said, app payments are usually going to be the most secure because you pay physically, someone might not pay you when you get there, or shasha, you get the concept very soon. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now time for me to go actually work. Because I have to do a demo video today as work. Demo what I built today. See you guys later. Stay safe. And you can view my 3 minutes Chromate where I just rant. It's going to get really, really like plenty very soon. Shasha. Bye guys. And I know I was talking very fast. I realized some of you might not have heard me. But you can message me on Twitter, Gmail, GitHub, anything. Just send me a DM. I would reply. I really do not have anything. I'm doing like that. I have to go and solve lead code. Bye, guys.